My husband and I moved to another home from the original home that we lived in Wimberley, Texas. And this was a large home. I really don't know where to start. I'm going to call this story The Haunting on Chisholm Trail. And it might take 2 tapings to finish this story. My husband and I were in bed one evening upstairs. We had this very large bedroom with an elevator in it, if you can imagine. The prior owner was infirmed and in a wheelchair, and they put in this elevator. The elevator went downstairs to the laundry room. Outside of our bedroom was this very large living area. So we had a big living room outside of our bedroom. And then it had a bathroom up there as well. We were in bed one night, and we were laying there. It was shortly after we had gone to bed. And all of a sudden, I start hearing something in the next room. The door's closed to the living room, but I could hear that there was a lot of activity in that room. My husband whispered to me, "Do you hear anything?" And I said, "Yes." I said, "What do you hear?" And he said, "It sounds like there's a damn party going on out there." And I said, "That's what I'm hearing." And what we were hearing, it sounded like there were probably, I don't know, 15 people in our living room, and they were talking and laughing. This is all sort of muted sounds. We could hear clinking of glasses and movement and things being put on a table and just movement and mulling around. And I said to my husband, "Why don't you get up and open the door?" And he said, "Are you kidding?" So I got up, I went to the door, he's right behind me, and I opened the door, and it just stops right then when I open the door. So we shut the door, we go back to bed, and just a few moments later, here it comes again. This was something that we heard all the time. We heard this party going on, and we got used to it, and we kind of laughed about it. And my husband said, "Well, at least they're happy ghosts," and we kind of laughed about it. But along the way of living in this house, we lived in this house for about a year. We were actually building a house, a custom house, and we were living in this house during the time that our other house was being constructed. Anyway, along the way of living in this house, we heard things all the time in this house. We would come into the kitchen from the outside. There was a door that came into the kitchen area and a door right next door that went into a living room area. We would come in the kitchen most evenings or most days. We would come in, and all of a sudden we would hear cupboard doors just slamming shut back there in the laundry room. We would hear other doors opening and shutting, and there was just a lot of activity going on in this house. One time we walked in, and I heard the back screen door slam shut, and I ran back there to the back room. I could tell it was the screen door. There was only one screen door in the whole house, and it was in that back room. And I ran into the room, and I checked the screen door, and the screen door is locked from the inside, so it didn't slam shut. It did, but it was one of those unexplainable things. The closer we got to being ready to move into our home that was almost finished now, several months later, the more activity was going on in the house. One night, I was in a play during this time, and one night at the theater, I was having my makeup applied from a good friend of mine who was also a makeup artist. She was applying my makeup for, I think it was a dress rehearsal. And she was real serious this night, and she looked at me and she said, "Kim, I want you to promise me something." She was very serious, and I said, "Well, sure. Sure, of course I will. Why are you so, what's wrong?" And she said, "I want you to promise me something, and I don't want you to question what I'm going to request of you." And I said, "Gee, this sounds scary. What's going on?" She said, "I had a vision last night, and all I want to say to you is I want you and your husband and his children to stay off of that elevator that's in your house." And I said, what was your vision? Why? She said, do you promise? And I said, I promise. We'll, no more will we use it. It'll be off limits. We only ever used it to take laundry up and down, and sometimes the kids would play in it. But I said, what was your vision? And she said, all I can tell you is that I saw blood everywhere. And she said, I just think something horrible happened in that house. And it has something to do, I think, with the elevator. So I just want you and your husband and his children to stay clear of that elevator. Well, what am I going to say? I completely agreed. And from that moment on, we never used that elevator again. The kids couldn't horse around on it, and I never used it anymore to do laundry. I just took the stairs, upstairs and downstairs. So, but as I said before, there was more activity in the house the closer we got to moving into our other house. One morning, my husband always liked to take a shower downstairs because the shower was huge. There were 5 or 6 bathrooms in this house. It was quite large. He was taking a shower downstairs, and I was downstairs too, and he came running out of the bathroom with the towel wrapped around him, and he really was angry at me, and he said, stop calling me when I'm taking a shower. And I said, what are you talking about? He said, every morning you call me while I'm in the shower, and I'm in the shower taking a shower. I wish you wouldn't do that. And I said, I have never called you while you're in the shower. I didn't call you just now. Did you hear some? He said, yes, and it was like your voice calling me, calling my name. And I said, well, it's not me. And so we kind of backed up a minute, and he cooled down a little bit, and we said, wow, there's now this whatever is in the house, one of these entities or whatever it is that's in the house is now an audio entity. I'm going to continue this story in another taping because I know I'm not going to be able to finish it. So I'll end it here, and you can stay tuned for the next part of the haunting on Chisholm Trail. Thanks for watching.